The ROG Phone 6 Pro, yes, we got it extremely early. Asus is pushing their limits on the mobile front, and so is Blackshark with the 5 Pro with the classic inbuilt triggers. But are they on par, or will one come up on top? Who knows? So let's find out. Hey y'all, it's Zeno with Geek Culture, and if you're new to the channel, what's up? We do tons of stuff here, so the next video might be different from this one. So let's dive in. The one thing both phones have in common is that they both use an Adreno 730 for its GPU, but the key difference is that the ROG Phone 6 Pro uses a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and the Blackshark 5 Pro uses a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. The difference between the Snapdragon 8 Plus and the 8 is that the single Cortex X2 core in the Snapdragon 8 Plus is clocked at up to 3.2 GHz as opposed to the 3.0 GHz in the standard Snapdragon 8. Also, Asus sent us the Cool 93 gamepad and their air-active cooler, but to be fair to Blackshark, we're not going to be using any of these. Another thing to note is that we'll be playing these games back to back on the phone's highest performance settings with Blackshark's Ludicrous mode and ROG's X mode. We're going to be playing some Genshin, Apex, COD M, and Real Racing 3 on both phones, and we're also going to be running benchmarks with GFX Bench, 3D Mark, and Geekbench 5 if you're into the numbers. So without a further ado, let's game. So we're gonna kick things off with the ROG Phone 6, and my gosh, you guys need to see this. Look at that. This is beautiful. Look at the display. But yeah, everything's set to the highest. The ROG Phone 6 actually has a refresh rate of 165 Hz. So you can expect a lot of things out of this, although it's not fully utilized, but it is what it is. So we'll just get into it. Another cool thing about the ROG Phone is that, using Game Genie, you guys can actually set real-time info at the bottom, or you can just kind of shift it anywhere you want, and it displays the real-time information for the game, such as the FPS, your phone's temperature, your battery life, and the GPU and CPU load. So it's a real nice touch. So we're in Mondstadt Square for a bit, and the thing is, a lot of you have been asking to kind of come here and just roam around for a bit, because it is more graphically intensive compared to other areas in the game, given like the gaming assets that are used around here and all the NPCs. And so far, I haven't noticed any screen tearings as of yet. The phone is kind of warming up a little bit. It's at 41 degrees right now, but it's nothing too much to be worried about. But it's fine, honestly. Yeah. So let's go to an open space and see how it fares. Oh, that was quick. Animations are really smooth. Look at that. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, again, no screen tearing whatsoever. It just feels so much more fluid compared to like playing on other phones that I've had so far. Frame rate has only been dropping around like 2 frames, 3 frames ish. No, okay, not even 2 or 1 frames ish per second. So far so good. Okay, so let's go into the Spiral Abyss and get into some proper action. Oh yeah, that was probably bad. Look at that AoE. Yeah, combat so far has been great.
Nice and spicy. Race you. Go as one.
Oh man, that was too far away. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little bit intense here, but the thing is, we are on a roll right now, I think.
No, my sword.
Nice, but yeah, okay, after completing one floor, this is, oh okay, this is hella smooth. I can't wait to run other games on it, so let's just move on to, let's see, Apex Legends. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so with Apex loaded up, okay, everything's on the highest, Extreme HD, ultra frame rate, no depth of smoothing, no, we don't want that. Display FPS, everything else is set on, so it's going to be quite heavy on the phone. Let's just dive into a match. But I also need to say that, volume right now, it's about 60-75% and it's looking and sounding amazing. If there's one thing I'll give to this phone is that its speakers are really good. I can't even lie. The speakers are actually really good. Why are they so scared? Oh, okay, you saw that? Yep. Frame drop right there.
I'll pop a smoke if we need visual cover.
Alright, I need this.
Cool, so black is here.
Firing. Video down. Attention, give me a sec. Climatizer is now active. Firing. Reloading.
Opening fire on the enemy.
Firing.
There you go.
Ready for
Oh no, there's another squad attacking.
Great, that was really close.
Opening fire on the enemy.
delivered.
Okay, so other than the frame rate drop just now that happened while we were landing, while we were fighting, it's been very smooth so far. Let's just get these guys over here. I see them.
Oh look, someone wandered into our safe space.
Smoke out. Check your sector.
Alone.
The squad is incoming.
Okay, so performance-wise, you know, it's still dropping about 2 frames-ish, but nothing too drastic compared to the little drop that we had just now while we were dropping from the air. No, it's still running at 41 degrees for the phone itself, but honestly, it does feel a bit warm, but you know, it's actually quite alright.
Medkit here.
Yeah, it's manageable, it's not uncomfortable in any sort of way. You're not going to be cooking any eggs on it, but you know, it's very comfortable. But yeah, with that, let's actually move on to COD Mobile. Okay, we have Call of Duty loaded up, so let's just look at the settings real quick. Same drill, everything's on very high, max frame rate. Multiplayer is gonna be a depth of field, everything's on. So you know, you're gonna get the best experience out of this thing. So let's just move on and play a game. Man, it's been a while. But yes, we're at 82% for the battery, you know, CPU load and GPU load seems to be doing fine. FPS doing pretty fine at 60 FPS. It's only dropping by like 1 frame right now, but honestly, it's still pretty smooth. Nice. So far the game runs really smooth in my hands and
Enemy contact! Targets
push up
inside.
there.
Headshots! Contact with enemy. Reloading.
The frame rate is only dropping by 1 every second or so. Temperature's at 37 degrees right now, which is honestly nothing compared to Genshin or Apex.
Stealth chopper awaiting orders.
Yeah, it's honestly feeling really good right now. And yeah, that should be it for COD Mobile. It's running ridiculously smooth. Okay, last one, Real Racing 3. Okay, so with Real Racing 3 booted up, there are no real sliders or anything for the graphics, but the thing is, all the assets have been downloaded. So let's just hop into the track and see how it performs. Very smooth, 144 FPS right now. The phone is actually cooled down quite a bit from just now. It's at 35 degrees right now. And gyroscoping on this thing is really smooth and responsive. This honestly would be able to take it because honestly there isn't much of a change when it comes to performance or even the real-time info. Frame rate is way above expectations, and after that its temperature's at 36 degrees. It feels really cool at the back compared to say Genshin and Apex. So yeah, with that let's move on to the Blackshark. Okay, so we have the Blackshark 5 Pro down here in Genshin back in Mondstadt, and let's just see the settings real quick. Everything should be on the highest. High, everything's on high. Okay, cool. 60 FPS again, but however we're running this thing at 144 Hz. So the way we check that is if we drag the top right, the top left down, and shark space will pull up here. So let's go to game config. Ludicrous mode is on, that's the highest we have down here. Display wise, let's go to custom, set to 144 Hz. color enhancement stuff. We're not really going to touch that. Graphic enhancements on high quality, so the things we're really pushing the Blackshark to its limits. And the next thing we need to do is actually configure the triggers. Look at that. Sounds great. So go to master config, and after that just assign the bumpers wherever you want them to activate on. So B will be on the attack down here, and then A will be on my sprint. Oh yeah, so basically the monitoring when it comes to the Blackshark, it doesn't show the temperature like the Game Genie or the Asus, but it does show the CPU frequency and more importantly the frame rate, which is heading at a steady 60 FPS. And of course we're back in Monstat Square again just to see how heavy or rather how smooth the phone can run in such a graphically intense area. And yep, a little bit of frame drops here and there, kind of stuttering here and there, but other than that it's still pretty smooth, I'd say. And to make up for the fact that the Shark Space doesn't measure temperature, we're going to be using our temperature gun again. Yes, of course we can use developer tools, but the thing is I want to see how each phone handles their monitoring. So let's just check out the temperature real quick on the back. And yeah, that's hot. Yeah, it's actually burning up right now. It's really hot. At the most on Genshin and Apex just now was 41 degrees on the Asus, but this, yeah, 43, 44. I'm guessing this is where the chip is. But yeah, this thing is heating up. So far it's pretty smooth. It's just that, you know, you will get a bit of frame stuttering here and there, but let's see how it fares like in combat. There we go. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, I see that. Stuttering a little bit more in combat. So open with combat, you guys can see the stuttering here and there. So let's just move on to something that's more combat focused. Let's head on to the Abyss. Alright. Let's just clear the other level. Wow, but this thing is really getting hot. This thing's, oh my lord, that is 50, 45. Yeah, this thing's honestly, it feels like a microwave here. So let's just see how it fares like in combat. Oh, not G. So honestly, the speakers are actually doing pretty okay. They're rather loud right now. Yeah, they're about like 80 to 75%. But it still sounds good, but honestly still not as good as the Asus right now. But yeah, okay, yeah, this thing's getting way too hot. Hold on, let me just check that out real quick. Yeah, it's still bordering like 45, but it feels just really hot at the bottom down here. I mean, it's still holding pretty well at 60 FPS with a bit of frame stuttering here and there, but other than that, it performs fine. But I guess, you know, if you want to go on for long periods of time playing Genshin or even Apex later on, when we try it out, you might want to think twice about that. Alright, let's just move on to Apex then. Alright, so we have Apex loaded up. Let's just see the settings real quick. And yeah, Extreme HD, Ultra Frame Rate, Adaptive Smoothing's off, obviously. Display FPS is on, and everything else is on. So let's just hop into a match. I've already set up the master config for the Blackshark stuff, as you can see down here. So one's for aiming, one's for firing. So let's just get into it and play a game. Not too bad. The baseline for the Asus was like 41 degrees, so we should be doing good. So far, no frame drops like just now with the Asus. Looking very promising right now, actually. Cool.
Reviving you, even if I have to go.
Yep, Firing with the triggers on feels like a dream.
That was the last
It feels
one in the
really
squad.
good.
Listen up, got another squad coming in.
Yeah, look at that. I shoot so much better with the triggers on like that.
Recharge your shields.
Even though it didn't take much time for the phone to heat up just now with Genshin, it doesn't feel that warm in the same amount of time I've spent in Apex compared to Genshin, so But so far it feels really good. We just got out of 2 gunfights and let's see how it fares. It's still about 40, okay, it went up like a 0.15, 1.8 around there just now as I saw it.
Replicator being delivered.
2 degrees Celsius higher than the baseline of 41 degrees just now. But yeah, see how responsive the triggers are when you start aiming down sights and when you start firing. It's amazing. And I can't wait to see how it performs like when it comes to COD later on. So far, hardly any frame drops. Honestly, it feels really good to play with the triggers. And let's check temperature wise before we move on to the next game. Yeah, about like a 2 degrees Celsius, almost 3-ish degrees Celsius difference compared to the Asus ROG just now. So let's just move on to COD. So for the settings, graphic quality is on high, frame rate on high. We're going to play multiplayer, so let's just turn all of that on and then restart the game so that everything can take effect. Okay, so now that everything is properly set up, let's just jump into a match.
Enemy contact. Get down, sniper.
Oh, it's so much better. Okay, let's just do this.
Targets in sight. Eliminated. Sent down. That's a killer drone.
Oh, nice.
Contact with enemy.
So 90 FPS, no screen tearing whatsoever so far.
That's a killer drone on standby. Reloading.
Feels really good.
Enemy contact.
Feels very good, in fact. Oh,
Enemy in sight. Stealth chopper awaiting orders. With enemy. Sniper down.
there we go. Honestly, it does feel like I'm cheating with these added triggers on top. I mean, like everyone else can get external controllers, yes, but the thing is, having it on there is such. It's so convenient. It's great. So yeah, no screen tearing, nothing much. Let's just check temperature real quick. I think with COD, the Blackshark is handling it pretty well. Yeah, you see that? Look at it's like 30.9. It's not that bad when it comes to Call of Duty. I mean, compared to Apex and Genshin, this is honestly one of the least intensive when it comes to the GPU and the CPU load. So it's great. Let's move on to real racing. Okay, so we're in real racing right now, and you download all the assets. Obviously, there are no sliders, just like in the ROG Phone 6. So let's just get into a race. Alright, just at ROG Phone 6, we're going to be playing gyro. Okay. So far, gyro is honestly very responsive. Yeah. Very responsive. 60 FPS right now, no screen tearing whatsoever, and the game looks really good. The models on the F1 car also looks great. And this is honestly the least intensive of all the games that we played today. And it's still holding up itself. Yeah, a little bump in temperature, yeah, but honestly, still alright compared to Genshin and Apex. So with that, let's move on to the benchmarks. For 3D Mark, the best loop scores are 2413 for the ROG and 2572 for the Blackshark. Geekbench scores for the ROG are 1303 for single core and 2999 for multi-core, and the Blackshark scores are 1211 for single core and 3446 for multi-core. For GFX bench, using the Aztec Ruins high tier test as a basis, the ROG Phone 6 Pro went up to 45 FPS and the Blackshark 5 Pro performed at 57 FPS. Having time with both phones, obviously the Asus wins out on heat management, but the Blackshark, especially with its inbuilt triggers, felt like a dream, and I almost felt like I was cheating because of how responsive the controls are, and talk about how easy it is to set it up. On the benchmark front, make what you will out of the scores, but the Blackshark seemed to handle GFX and 3D Mark pretty well. It even ran 4 to 5 frames per second higher than ROG. With the GFX test, I recorded the temperatures again, and it just confirms that Asus really has it going with its heat management a la Game Cool 6 cooling system. However, the Blackshark ran the 3D Mark test smoother compared to the ROG Phone 6 Pro. Even though the Blackshark got beat out on the single core score compared to the ROG Phone 6 Pro, it knocked everything out of the park with its multi-core score. So the question remains, would you want a good looking phone with great heat management or a phone that has great inbuilt triggers and processing capabilities? I'll leave that up for y'all to decide. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below and I'll do my best to get to them. And if you like this video, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials, leave a like and subscribe to us. We have a ton of videos coming your way. This is Zinio and I'm going to go play the out of these.